of ReConnect Rondo, and we're basically trying to, bring people together and, learn ourselves about the history of this community and, teach other people about, the impact that the I-94 highway had, cutting straight through Rondo and, kind of devastating the Rondo neighborhood and community, which was like so vibrant. And, you are teaching here in Rondo, and you've been in a lot of places in the U.S., and you've seen some of these same things with where maybe how highways have affected communities and other ways that like the government has kind of come in and disrupted these like black communities. So I guess we could start by, you just telling us in general like a little bit about like who you are, where you're from, how'd you get here, how'd you get to Rondo, how'd you get to where you're living now and what you're doing?
So originally I am from Detroit, Michigan. Came to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Yeah, I said it that way. 1987. It's like 12, 13 years old, something like that. My first grade here was 7th grade.
Oh, okay.
How did I get to the Rondo neighborhood? Now, what's funny is I've never lived in St. Paul, but I've always been a part of the Rondo neighborhood because I'm teaching, and I'm an educator at Walker West Academy of Music. When I first moved here, that's where I started taking piano lessons. And my parents met some people. They pointed their finger to St. Paul. I quickly began to see the difference between St. Paul and Minneapolis and asked my parents why we didn't move to St. Paul. Yeah. Because this Rondo neighborhood, the people reminded me of the people in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. How so?
A proudness, togetherness, neighborhood, strong, educated. You can feel it. Every black person I met from St. Paul, it was just something different. I'm not trying to disrespect Minneapolis. It was a mindset that I related to right away. Mm-hmm. And I find if you talk to other people that is not from here, a lot of people say the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I still haven't lived in St. Paul. My twin daughters live in St. Paul. They beat me. The closest I lived to St. Paul was New Brighton. Technically, that's a St. Paul suburb, but it don't count.
No,
it doesn't count.
It's not Rondo.
But I've been a part of Walker West, and like I said, I've always felt something in that neighborhood on Selby, and I just love working at Walker West.
Yeah. So Walker West is like a jazz and just in music in general.
No, it's not just jazz.
Right.
It's everything. It's gospel. It is jazz. It is classical.
Yeah.
They're teaching you everything there. We have 3-string educators there, and one of them, the main is Ross. His students are just going to the youth orchestras, know. And no, he is an excellent teacher. Matter of fact, he's not the only one. There's a lot of excellent teachers at this school, piano teachers. There's a lot of new people.
Yeah.
We've hired a lot of new people lately. We're moving to Marshall, right off Dale, soon, like next year. And I can't wait. We got the Wilder building. Still working out some details. That's how I got to the Rondo neighborhood.
Yeah.
Other schools have been trying to get me over there, but I want to be in the community.
Do you think like the teachers at Walker West and like the way people teach and the way you teach, do you think you think about history when you're teaching, and you think about like the community, and it's not just about like just learning the music specifically, but also learning the history of the music maybe, or at least learning how it like affects the community or interacts with that community in some way?
I'm going to take you for an example. Well, this is how we do in class. We teach you the music, but then what do? Then we start talking about the history, why it's being played this way, where it used to be played. And then, yes, we talk about the history of the Rondo neighborhood, which I knew nothing about until I moved here. And then, you know, you go to these functions, you learn more and more about how important the Rondo neighborhood is. And then you realize, like, oh, they did that to that city and this city too. Oh, I didn't know that until I found out about the story.
Yeah.
Of 94 here.
How do you learn about that? Did you learn immediately when you got here, or like when you started teaching?
About 4 or 5 years after I moved here, I found out about the other cities.
Okay.
You know, and then my mother, I don't know, my mother had never talked about it, but my mother mentioned it. She's like, it's the same dang thing they did in Detroit. You know, my mother was born and raised in Detroit.
Yeah. And
so you had Davison Highway there. That was a influential black middle-class neighborhood, just like Rondo.
Right.
And if you don't know anything about Detroit, it's one of the blackest cities in America. And found out they put Davison Highway through that neighborhood. But then I found out something new.
Oh, yeah?
They also did that to 75. So 75 is also a highway.
Right. That's near the Davison Highway, right?
Kind of. Yeah, they did that to 75. Same thing. Didn't know that. I just found that out recently.
Was that like the Paradise Valley neighborhood kind of around there? Or I don't know what the name of it, but I think I know what you're talking about.
No, Paradise was somewhere else. You might be talking about Miami, because they did it to Miami. Also, Miami, Tennessee, Kansas City, Philadelphia, LA, Oakland, Dallas, Houston. Yeah, all the cities, Atlanta. And so you as a black American, when you see this, and when I hear people say stupid stuff, racism is over. Really? We're going to do this? we're going to do this? And then they're like, why is black people so angry? Slavery is over. Really? You're that stupid when it still goes on, blatant. Then when you sit back and think about it over and over, and you find out about the other cities over, that's just blatant disrespectful and jealousy. Do y'all know about Black Wall Street?
Yep.
Yes.
Same thing.
In Tulsa?
Not just Tulsa.
Yeah.
Tulsa was just one of them.
Yeah.
You know, you had Florida, you had Virginia, all over the place where black people had their own doctors, stores. Oh, black people don't ever own anything. Black people are lazy. They don't want to work. Y'all keep burning it down.
Yeah.
Leave us alone and let us be us. Like, people from Detroit. I just had a conversation with a friend from Detroit, just recent, how we were the last, we call us the last great generation of Detroit, the last musical generation of Detroit, where we just thought white people own stuff, Asian people own stuff, Arabs own stuff, black people. It was just normal. Every culture owns things. I didn't know it was a big deal to own. Let me rephrase. Let me go backward. I didn't know it was a big deal for a black person to own a bank until I left Detroit. Did not know that. There is I can't remember the name of it, but there is a black-owned bank in Detroit. And that bank is now in Minneapolis, I think. I think it's open. I just can't remember the name of it. My parents used to be a part of that bank. And so it wasn't a big deal to us. With Detroit, you saw every society of black people. Like when Obama was in office, people were like, oh my God, I've never seen a black person like that. I'm like, that's just regular to me. Or you got black suburbs in Illinois, Alabama, Atlanta, or I should say, Georgia, Michigan is, why are you jogging? That's white people stuff. No, black people jog too. But I hear these dumb comments. I hear comments like even from black people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I hear these. I'm like, y'all got to get educated. Y'all need to leave and go see the world. But anyway, no. I forget my frame of thought. But it's just how people say racism doesn't exist, and you see all these people getting killed over and over for the dumbest thing, and then you hear stupid comments like, well, they shouldn't have ran. I don't know what they about to do. Sum up. Nobody thinks about this before they run their mouth. Why did she run? Or why did they move? You ever get your hands twisted up for something you didn't do? No, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. It gets to the point where you get pulled over by a cop. You're like, okay, are they going to start tripping? What are they going to do? What kind of cop am I dealing with? You know, and so for those of you that are that stupid to say, why did they run? They shouldn't have ran. We don't trust them. And the police hasn't been good to us or the Latinos or the Native Americans, because I got to add them too. And they're part of this too. It's just not us. Oh, and poor white people. I be telling poor white people, I'm like, your own people putting you in slavery. They don't care about you because you're poor. You know, you got poor white people that are racist. It's like, at the end of the day, you gonna get left behind. Right. you ain't got no money. You gonna get left, but you might as well come on over to the dark side. Right. You know, it's like people are so ignorant. Yeah, definitely. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like it. I don't get mad about it though. A snake is a snake. Yeah. An alligator is an alligator. What's a mosquito gonna do when they get on your skin? It's gonna suck your blood. That's where I'm at with it. Mm-hmm. My dad said this. My dad is from Mobile, Alabama. Dirty South. If you don't know where Mobile, Alabama is, it's all the way to the bottom of Alabama, right there on the Gulf. And so, dude, should I say more? He was born in 1939. Wow. So imagine what he's seeing. He's told me the stories. But he said he got through it. And all the stuff that's going on. Even my dad says, he's like, why are people so mad? It's the same crap that's been going on. Yeah. So I'm not going to lie. Somebody get mad at me. I don't care. When I see a black person or person of color mad about a situation, why you mad? Instead of getting mad, you got to do something about it. What do I do about it? You have to figure out what you do. My thing is Walker West. Yeah. That's what I do about it. I'm tired of talking about it. Why are we talking about it? I'm not a marcher. I'm a doer. I'm not a marcher. I don't do that. Mm-hmm. I do. I go solve the problem. What I can do. You know, I'm here doing this. Yeah. That's what I'm here for. You know, and then that's how I do it. That's how I've been doing it. I watched my dad do it in Detroit with black kids on the east side, to the point where they're about to do a documentary on the music of jazz in Detroit, and they're putting a chapter in that book for my dad. And to this day, his students still call him Mr. Washington. I watched my dad do it. I did a version of what he did to some students in Detroit that I did at the Blue Now that no longer exists. Mm-hmm. It was called the Poets Groove. But it wasn't just about poets. It was about everything. Comedians, musicians, all type of music, no ego, people who were okay at their craft, people who were good at their craft, people who superly sucked, people who were good and people who were great, all in one room. I did it for 14 years. It was a place where you can work out your stand-up, you can work out a song, you can work on your vocals, whatever. Musicians learning how to play with poets, poets learning how to play with musicians, rappers learning how to play with musicians rather than their track. Yeah. Because what happens with rappers, let's be real, they get so used to their track, they don't know how to deviate. So we made rappers understand both sides, the track side and the live instrumentation side. You got to be ready. Electricity goes out. So if you're doing a concert, that laptop goes out, electricity goes, you going to stop rapping? What? Really? So we trying to get you. I was trying to get people to be a full artist, not one-dimensional. Be ready for any and everything. That's what my dad and his friends did to a lot of black kids in Detroit.
And you would say, like, art is a political thing to do, right? Like, or it's at least something that it's doing something, like, kind of like what you said, like, there's this history of these highways being plowed through and this violence.
Yeah.
And art is something that you can do. Art has an impact in the community.
Art kept me from going to prison, probably, because I would have started a militia or something. Like, I'm not taking this no more. You know, my militia is my music. Not every artist does it, but here's another thing people don't understand. You can go Google it. What these highways did, it decimated the black community. It spread us out where we had to go to other people for a doctor or whatever. Or a grocery store when we had our own stuff. And again, I'm sitting here thinking about it now. I'm like, wow, that pretty much happened in every major city. So now we have this thing that's about to happen on 94. I know we were leading to that. I know a lot. I know about it.
You know.
So
you say what you want to do about it.
It was introduced to me before everybody knew about it. And when it was introduced to me, I was like, say what? They about to do what? I swear to God, my first question was this. Me and this person is tight. Is anybody gonna lose their home? That was the first question I asked. When I saw the diagram, the outline of it, I'm like, I'm seeing it. I'm like, oh my God.
In a good way.
Right, and so I'm looking at the frontage world on this side. I'm looking on the frontage road. I'm looking at the frontage road, and envisioning all the houses. I've been to St. Paul a lot. I'm like, how y'all gonna do this?
Right.
What's really going on? Is anybody gonna lose their home?
Yeah, I think the goal is no.
That's what I was about to get. What I was
that's
told
the
and what
plan.
you just said is no. So he showed me the diagram again. I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But then another issue came up that I didn't even think about. There's some other people that I know very well. I'm not going to say any names that are Rondo. They are St. Paul's finest, St. Peasy, and they mad about it. I'm like, okay, let me hear why they mad about it. And then these two groups got into an argument.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what was said. So I already know this side of the story. So let me go over here.
Yeah.
And see what's going on this side of the story. And the two people that I talked to, I trust highly. They are amazing artists, by the way. But I don't want to give up. I don't want to say any names and start some crap.
Yeah, no, I mean.
But I understood what they were talking about. Who's going to own it?
Right.
That is the question.
That's the question.
I didn't even think about that until I talked to them. That's why I say, let me see what's going on the other side of this argument. I live in Minneapolis.
And I think I think one of the things about ReConnect Rondo, which is so cool, is like it's not through the government at all. Like they know the tools, they know how the government does what it does, and how the government like drives highways through here,
right.
How they can like take stuff and destroy these black communities, and I think the goal is they know that is what not to do, essentially, how not to like give up this property to gentrification, and to have it be taken away again or destroyed.
Oh no, I think if they try to do that, or if they try to like, okay, we just said that nobody's supposed to be losing their homes, but through history they said one thing.
That's very true.
And did another. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah,
and it better not happen. It better not happen, or else. You know what? If that happens, hey, I might become a marcher on this one.
Yeah.
Because come on. Now, what's that name? ReConnect Rondo, which is excellent. Yes, let's do that. Bring this back. Not only in Rondo, not only in St. Paul, all over America should be the same thing. Period. And we're being watched around the country. We are the test subject to see what's going to happen.
Here in Rondo.
Heck, yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Man, look. The guy that's running it, I told him, I said, you know you being watched, right? I said, you can't say nothing on the phone. I said, your phone's is probably tapped. You know what I mean? I said, you can't mess this up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if we do it right, then that's
it can
important.
be done if they keep now. Okay, here's another. Let's finish this argument here. So, who's going to own it? That was my thing. Now I understand what he's saying over here about future. This is the future. This is I get it. I get that. Things can't stay the same. I don't want things to stay the same either. I want to see. How's my dad say it? New it up. I love when he says that. But who's going to own it?
Yeah.
Who's making money off this? That is my question. And I'm still studying that part. I'm still studying that part. The city, the state, whatever. Yeah, why don't the people own it? Y'all own everything else. Let us have it. The people should own it. You owe. Did y'all hear about what happened in San Francisco just recently?
No.
About the reparations.
Reparations, yeah.
That went through.
Yeah.
Serious?
Oh God, yes, San Fran. It went through. Look it up. I'm talking just 3-4 days ago. That's also a test. Yep. That's a test.
Yeah.
That's a test. I'm like, uh-oh. Then you got racist white people talking about, oh no.
Yeah. Right. And I think
oh no.
Pitchfork in hand.
I'm ready to die now. No, let me tell you something. They owe us.
Yeah.
They do.
And I think one of the things about ReConnect Rondo, it's like, this is the community who's doing this, right? Like, we're here in Rondo, at HSRA here. Some of us are from Rondo. Some of us live in Rondo. Some of us, have connections to Rondo that are really important. And it's like, but we're all coming from places that have been affected by the highway. And it's us who's going to take that initiative. You
know what I just found out? I did some research. Syracuse was another one.
Yeah?
Syracuse.
New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's a new one. I did some extra research and found out other cities. Same thing. So, going back to this project. One, I'm just going to straight out say, people better not lose their homes after you told us that's not going to happen. Then we're going to have problems. I'm understanding both sides of this argument. I get it. Nobody's going to agree with everything.
Yep.
What this side and this side needs to do, we got to meet at the table.
Well, I think, that division goes to say with almost any argument you can make when it comes to stuff like this. There are always going to be people who disagree and people who have arguments on both sides.
Yep.
And I think the main goal, what we're trying to do, is take people from both, people who think it won't work, people who think it will work, and we want to hear from both of those groups.
Yep.
We want to get feedback from everybody.
And that's the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. That's the way it's supposed to.
We're living in a society. They're trying to eliminate that.
Exactly.
They're trying to, and that's bad.
Exactly.
That's bad. I'm gonna add to what you just said. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Don't worry.
You just made me realize there were black people in San Francisco that was against it.
Yeah. Man.
Against getting that money, that reparation, and I read a little bit about it. I'm like, why are you mad? I'm like, ooh, I didn't think about that. Man, but you know what? No, give me that money because we are owed. We helped build this country. First of all, let me shut up because I didn't mean to cut you off, my man.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I think we're owed a lot more than just money. We are owed every single thing we've ever lost from this. And
murder,
man,
hung in the tree,
every
lynched.
single thing down to the decimal. It doesn't matter if it's money. I don't want money. I want things to be done right for us. I want things to be done right by us.
I want my 40 acres.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
And
want to
leave
be
me
able
alone.
to build my house so I can be left
Leave
alone.
me alone.
Exactly.
I want my 40 acre.
Exactly.
And I want to build my own city. And you come in here with that BS.
Get
off my
you
property.
You got it. We on the same page.
No, we're old. Let me. Things changed and shifted when George Floyd died, and it's unfortunate that something so gruesome had to happen for a shift to happen. Now, police have been choking people out for years, but this one was different. It was caught on camera for a whole 8 minutes?
8 minutes, yeah.
8 minutes, I believe.
And
Either
11
8 or
seconds.
yeah. 8 minutes. And we watched that.
I watched the whole video, man.
You know, that's the difference. It was recorded.
Yeah.
Video, and it changed everything after that. I think even white people that have been having their heads in the sand, even stupid black people that hate black people, let's just be real. I'm the elephant in the room. I'm going to say what people are scared to say. They've had their heads in the sand. It made them look in the mirror.
Yep.
Like, oh, am I part of this? Now, sometimes white people can do too much. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes those liberal white people, like, they irritate me. You're overdoing it. Chill out. Stop. Oh, I help black people in Mexican attitude. Just shut up and just do it. Stop bragging about it. Just do it. At least the Republican, the racist Republican. You know why I like the dumb Republicans? Because they're honest.
Yeah, they just gonna say it.
And they don't care. And they believe it. They may sound like an idiot, but they will fight for it. They believe it. And we're like, God damn, you're stupid as hell, but I respect your energy. You know, I'd rather deal with them sometime. At least they're honest. You know where they're coming from. Where these people over here, they want to be your friend, but then be like them behind your back at the end of the day. I ain't got time for them either. I ain't got time for them. I'm going to say, I'm not a Democratic or Republican. I'm an independent. I'm going to go with it. I like what they're doing, be honest with you. If they stick to what they're
ReConnect
saying,
Rondo.
what they're saying they're going to do with the arts. Well, isn't it going to be some housing also?
Oh yeah, housing
All
and
kinda-
like parks
I'm down with
and
it.
like
Just as long
businesses. Yeah.
everybody it stays the truth.
The truth.
Keep the truth. What you telling us, it better be the end result. Or they're going to have problems.
And yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. What are we
I
at?
really
6:13?
admire how you really just say what you gotta say, and you don't filter it out for nobody. I want to be like that. You know, I care too much. I care too much.
I stopped. Well, it has a lot to do with how I was raised. And then I get my parents' story. You know, they cared for a minute, but then it's like, my thing is, black people shouldn't have to change who they are to make white people feel comfortable. Black people, for a long time, couldn't wear their natural hair like you.
Nope, we couldn't.
They couldn't do what he did to his hair. They'll judge you. Or you couldn't wear a tattoo at a job. Me, when I took criminal justice for a minute, and I was looking to be a probation officer for the youth. And the teacher was talking about, oh, you can't have tattoos, blah, 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 blah. And then you go visit these prisons, and I'm like, now I already knew this, what I'm about to say, but to see it was another level. They ain't trying to help nobody in prison. They're not trying to help anybody.
Just a number.
So my thing is, if I need help, I want somebody that used to be an idiot that straightened up their life. I'm more to listen to that person than rather the person that hasn't been through nothing. Now, every now and then, you get that person that hasn't been in any trouble, and they are very compassionate. I've seen it, but not enough. let's be real here. Let's take percentage. Most people want to see dirt. Like, I'm more likely to listen. Like, I love Malcolm X because of this. We know his dirty story. We know his dirt, what he's come from. He spoke about it. And look what he did after that. Or if I'm a drug addict, which I'm not, I'm just saying, the counseling that I want is for somebody that really understands what I'm going through. My story may be different from yours, but you can understand. You've been through it. Don't come to me half-assed. Can I say that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know my family. I make sure I don't judge anybody's family. I come from a great home. My parents are still married. But what I loved about my parents, though, at the end of the day, even though, you hate your parents when you're kids, every kid does. Because, I want that, whatever. The usual stuff. But when you get older, you start to understand. My parents kept me and my sister diverse. We were around the rich. We were around the middle class. We were around the poor. And I watched my parents never look down to the people who were poorer than they were. And I look back at it on now, they never looked down on people. Never. I'd never seen it. I'm middle class. I am from a middle class black neighborhood from Detroit. Every black person is not from the ghetto. That is a stereotype. Do you realize most black people are from the middle class? Facts. That is facts. That whole hood, it's a stereotype. But that's what they want us, though, in the hood. And so sometimes you'll get these middle class kids, how can I say, acting gangster, thug, when they really aren't. Then I had to understand myself growing up that some people are forced into selling drugs or doing what, yes, it's bad. But then you find out little things. Homelessness. Mom's an alcoholic. Mom's a prostitute. Mom's a meth head. Mom's a crackhead. Dad comes home and beats everybody up because he just got out of prison. He pissed off because his life sucks. He's an alcoholic. He's a pimp. He's a drug dealer. You find out that this 14-year-old is taking care of a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, because mom's not doing it. Or even younger. I've seen kids 10 years old, the oldest in the house, but it's the adult, the parent, and they go to school. You can't tell them nothing. But at the end of the day, they want to be told what to do. And you find out the family dynamic. That's what I'd be like, oh, let's help this kid. That's where I'm at. Everybody got a story.
Yeah.
Everybody got a story. Don't judge. I learned that in New York. Don't judge the cover.
Right.
Don't judge it. I learned that in New York.
Yep.
I learned it in New York. Some of the most brilliant people I have ever spoken to were homeless people. We're talking mathematicians, scientists, people who used to be rich and ruined it all, was homeless. And one of my favorite quotes was like, "I'll get it all back again." He was confident. I've been rich 3 times. I'll do it again. I learned so much from the homeless in New York. But then here's another thing. Sometimes, you get that homeless person, or they be full of shit. They full of it. But through that BS, there's a truth. You feel me? You have to, the words that are coming at you is, this is BS, this is BS. Oh, that one's true. Sometimes, so don't listen to everything a person tells you. Listen to everything. Even if it's BS, even if you see that they got a mental illness, the truth is in there. And you can pull it apart if you paying attention, if you care enough. Because all of us could be homeless at one point in time. All of us in here is one step away from being homeless. Do you know that's one of my number one fear? Is to be homeless. Sometimes that's why I work too much. I just told you something most people don't know about me. I told you. I've been homeless before. I didn't have to be. I was living in New York. I wanted to do it on my own. I could have called my parents. I need some money. I could have did that, but I didn't want to. I wanted to see if I can do this, because then I started seeing these other people that didn't have the family I did. They can get through it. I can get through it. And then it keeps me connected to the street. It keeps me connected. It keeps my ear to the street. I always keep my ear to the street. The street is the truth. Like you'll see something in the system or murder or whatever. The news say one thing, but it was way off from the truth. Just ask somebody on the street. They know what happened. The truth is in the streets. It's always told the truth. And I keep my friends like that to keep me humble. Sometimes an artist could be in the sky and the galaxy and the other dimensions too much and forget what's going on Selby, what's going on Broadway, what's going on University. We forget what's going on downtown, or I'm just throwing streets out there, and streets I'm throwing out, everybody know what I'm talking about. It keeps me humble. I don't like looking down on it's a war out here. It's a battle out here. And it's a battle, and I get it. I'm from this, but I'm willing to help. I'm a people person. I'm for the people. I'm for the people. I can be commercial all day, but I don't like it. I don't like pop culture. It's ruining us. I don't like it. The spirituality behind it. And that's another thing that's gotten messed up. Spirituality's gotten all messed up. That's another thing. It's too much bad spirit out there, and there's too many good people going to the wayside and giving up. I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up. And so why am I talking in circles and 300s? Because this all relates.
Yeah. This
all relates to what's going on with this Connect Rondo.
Right.
It's all related.
Yeah, it's about the truth, kind of, right?
Yeah.
It's about the truth of history.
Yep.
How that impacts like the very people we are and the community that we have.
Here's my question: what black people are you going to bring in also?
Well,
for employment. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know Walker West is going to have something on there too, but who else? Walker West is not the only organization. Those are my questions. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on something that part I don't know. That's why, you know what? It reminded me of what Jesse Ventura did when he was in a debate before he became governor. And there was a debate, and they asked him a question. My man Jesse said, I can't answer that question because I don't know. I got to talk to my people before I answer that question. I said, you know what? I'm voting for him because he kept it 100. Because what most politicians do, they give you this BS answer. And they say crap. And then you hear la 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 la. I'm not going to do that. Jesse didn't do it. I respect that. And I'm going to do the same thing right now. I just asked a question that I need to ask. What other black organizations is coming?
Yeah.
If this is ReConnect and this was a black neighborhood, and so who else is a part of this?
The Golden Time Cafe?
Oh, man, come on now.
Yeah, no, I mean.
Yeah, that's 2.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah.
2. We need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like.
You know what I mean? Let's keep it real.
No, this is.
I know I love that man. I know him. Yep, that's been around for a
There's
while.
a Rondo, I think, business collective, like a group who's kind of coming together.
So I found out about the revolution of black people in Minneapolis, specifically the north side. When I got here, that's not what I saw. I didn't see that. I didn't see that togetherness. So it was hard for me to relate. Now, I'm about to throw something at you. There's also a Minneapolis Rondo area also that nobody talks about. And it's the south side. It's over there, like from 46. Well, okay. We're going to do the people in Minnesota know this route. If you take 35W south and get off at 46 or 35th, and you take a left on both of those exits and go over the bridge, that's the Rondo of Minneapolis. That's the Rondo from like, I want to say 32, 33, all the way down to 46. Oh yeah, it's a black Catholic church back there, black Episcopal church back there off of 46. We used to be a part of, and then found out that a lot, like my first ex-wife family is from that neighborhood. Matter of fact, my twins' mother family, when they moved to Minneapolis, from that neighborhood. A lot of influential, educated black people were living in that neighborhood.
Are you talking about the 35W highway?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 35W. Yep. You take 35 south. Then I would say like there's an exit at, what is that, 35th? There's an exit at 46. All of that but when you get off either one of those exits, you take a left eventually. Like 35th is a one-way, I believe. So you got to go to 36 to take that left. You just go over that bridge. That is that, yeah. Matter of fact, Old Central. Matter of fact, now I think about Old Central High School in Minneapolis. That's considered the Minneapolis Rondo area. Excuse me. Yep. From there all the way down, all the way up to 46, something like that. Yep. And then if I'm wrong, somebody will definitely correct me. But I know I'm close.
Yeah.
Because I know Central High School. Because they closed Central High School. I don't know if you know that history. Minneapolis had a Central High School, and it was like the best basketball team, best football team, best band, and it had already closed by the time I moved here. But everybody that I know that went to this school to this day is mad about that. A lot of people of color that did well in school, graduating, and they closed that school. Just like they tried to do North High School. Yeah, I said it.
Know about that.
Yeah, they tried to do that too some years ago. Oh, yes.
Why?
Oh, yeah. North High School has been through some changes. Then they were losing their basketball players to other schools. Suburban schools. We all know what these suburban schools are. North had the best basketball team for years. Just the North Side in general had the best basketball player, period. It's like North Commons. It's like I played in other parks. I don't know why I didn't play for North Commons, and they thrashed everybody back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Get out of here off that. Get out of here with that. Yep. And so, no, going to your question, I didn't see that over North. I missed that. I'm just going to be real. People get mad at me all they want.
It's not there.
I didn't see that. I'm not denying it. I'm not disrespecting them. It's the same old thing that happened everywhere else. Divide and conquer.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about one more thing, like having to do with Minneapolis, because we've like talked about you were in Detroit and there was this Davison Freeway. There was 75 that kind of destroyed, like went through purposefully, like divided up these neighborhoods. Obviously, there's 94 here in the Rondo, and I think now there's like I don't know if this is still in the works, but there's this idea. I think we were talking a little bit about it earlier, just before we started recording a couple days ago, about like the light rail that's gonna go. They're trying to put on Broadway.
All right, okay, hold up. Let's talk about that. So I found this out through a friend of mine. I didn't hear anything about this until she brought it up, I would say about February. So I'm like, what? They want to put the light rail down Broadway? I said, that's disrespectful. So I got mad immediately.
Why is that disrespectful?
All those businesses on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of black businesses on Broadway. That would hurt. Yeah. Just like a lot of businesses did not last on University. Some couldn't handle it.
Right next to the highway.
But Broadway's going to be different. It's going to be worse. Where you got Ocean, a lot of houses are not going to be lost right there. It will be easy to do this. And so when they told me they want to put it down Lindale going north, then have it take a left on Broadway, I'm like, what? found out the neighborhood is not happy about this.
Yeah.
She said we've been to city meeting and she said the neighborhood is not having it. So 2 weeks after she tells me this, I see it in the North Side paper.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my, I still have it at home. I read the article and I got even madder than the first time because they really trying to do this.
Is it going to go through?
So I was just talking to somebody about it. I haven't heard anything lately. I need to call her. I need to see what's going on because she lives right in that neighborhood. She lives right there. Right there. She lives right off Lindale where they're talking about doing this. And then I haven't heard anything since I read the article in the, I think it was like a Northside newspaper. I forget which one it was. It may have been the Insight. I got to look at it. I don't remember. But I know I read an article about it and I got mad all over again. I'm like, oh my God, this is disrespectful. So I'm thinking of Broadway and what's on Broadway. So I'm like, oh, that's not gonna work. They're gonna have to widen that. So I'm looking at Juxtaposition is over here. You got Breaking Bread down the street. Then you got the subway spot on the corner of Emerson and Broadway, black owned. Sanctuary ain't going nowhere. I play at Sanctuary. It's bad enough they just closed that Walgreens over there, which is disrespectful. You know, so I'm looking, you got Shiloh Baptist Church right there. You got the Minneapolis District building down the street from the Breaking Bread. I think it's called Breaking Bread. Isn't that it? Right there, it's a black owned spot. Then you got Popeye. Oh, you got Capri Theaters on Broadway. KMOJ is on Broadway. KMOJ is on Penn and Broadway. Then you got all the food places. Then you got an intersection. You got apartments right here.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're already doing some construction right there by North Memorial. Because hold up, Broadway goes, yeah, because eventually Broadway and Lowry just some stuff together. And then you got the hospital over here. I'm like, no, that's whack. No, put it down Olsen.
And like it seems like a pattern to me. Like back in the day, like it was easy to get away with bombing the places, but I feel like now they use transportation as a discreet way.
I will fight with them, even though I live over North Minneapolis. I don't live in that part of North, but I will fight with them to not let this happen down Broadway. No, no, and it will be a repeat.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, it's the same thing as putting highways through working class black neighborhood. It's the same thing. So stop it. Yep. I can't even believe this is a possibility. And if you're not mad about it, you need to be mad about it, especially the people that's living in that neighborhood. You need to be mad about it.
Yeah.
You know, matter of fact, I need to talk to the pastor about that. The church I play at. And because that's on Broadway, right across the street from the Cub. Even though it's back off in, you know, it's not right on the street. And because we're right next door to Murren's Liquor. We're right in the heart of North Side.
And like you can also see gentrification happening too. Like you know where that Broadway pizza used to be?
Yeah.
And now they built those
huge
huge
Oh no, they got a whole plan for that whole neighborhood. That's actually been in the works for a long time. It's just not going through now. I mean, they've been talking about that for like over 10 years, maybe 15 years. Same thing they did on Hiawatha. You know, the Hiawatha, that's Native American sacred ground over there. And so people were protesting that for a very long time. When I first moved here, the Hiawatha that you know of wasn't like that. And they were constructing on it, then it stopped. And it was like way smaller than what it is now. And so, no, people were climbing trees. It made all kind of news. You can Google it. Yeah. You can YouTube it probably also. Oh no, people fought for that one. But that one, if they talking about putting that train down Broadway, that needs to be more of a fight than ever before.
Yep, it
needs to be a fight more than ever before. Again, I said I'm not a marcher. I will march for that one. I'll march for that one. No, that cannot happen.
I mean, yeah, this is what happened it happened in Rondo. It happened in Detroit.
It cannot happen.
Happened across the country. And yeah, it's repeating itself. So, I feel like it's tying back together. This history, it's important to learn it. To stop this from happening again.
I'm gonna find out more information because I haven't heard anything lately.
Yeah, I've read an article or two recently, and it's like a proposed plan, so they don't know what's happening. But I think because the community's fighting.
See, this is translation of what you read. People are pissed off.
Yeah.
We're getting kickback.
Yeah.
They didn't say it in the article though. So they said, what did they say?
Proposed plan.
So it went back to propose.
Yeah.
That's what happened. They didn't tell you that. I'm just translating what really that article was about.
Yeah.
We're getting kickback. This is from the neighborhood.
Yeah. It's important. It's happening more and more. And I think here ReConnect Rondo can, like you've said, can kind of maybe be a role model or set an example or show something about the possibility for neighborhoods in the future. And so,
like I said, if they do what they say they're going to do, I'm telling you, not only is America watching, the world is watching.
Yep, this is important.
Trust me, they're watching. Yep. Oh, they're watching. And so it's funny how Minneapolis and St. Paul is the center now.
Yeah.
We are the center. We have, and I'm not bragging and stuff, we have 3 major police deaths in the last 7-8 years. Unfortunate, costly deaths.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know something with us that hasn't happened ever probably or rare? They all went to jail.
Yeah.
They all went to prison. Yeah, one of them got out. She still went. I knew she wasn't going to do that the whole time, but they all went. There was a time cops weren't going to prison for this.
Mm-hmm.
KKK wasn't going to jail for it.
And a lot of them across the country still do.
Yep. Oh, before I leave, do y'all know how the police force was started?
How? I know, but tell me.
Tell us.
I want to hear what you say. I want to hear what y'all say.
I think it was created right after slavery to be just to bring black people back into slavery in the prison industrial complex, which is a continuation of slavery.
That's exactly. People, that's how our police force started.
The stars and everything.
And they still hold true the philosophy. But then, wait a minute. Here's another one. Well, the black cops did this. We don't like them either. They believe in the system. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. The worst situation I've ever had from a cop was a black cop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I hate to say it.
Nah, for real.
He might as well have been white.
What did he do to you?
Call me all kind of N-words. You low class. He didn't even know me. Then looked at my record. I didn't have a record. Stereotyped me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 15. Yeah. Yes, I'm an idiot. I'm 15. But he just knew I was a little gangbanger. He just knew I was. Boy, he saw my record. He was mad.
He wanted you to have something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I've run into some women cops were terrible too because they got to show out because it's a man's world. Yeah, a black cop and a woman cop is 2 of the worst situations I've ever been in. And but yes, some of these people believe in it. But wait a minute though, there are some good cops. I've met them, I've seen them, and I feel sorry for them. I do. Yeah. There are some good cops out there. I've met them. They come to my shows. And but I tell them, I feel sorry for y'all, man. The bad ones, they messing it up for y'all. And it's true. And it's unfortunate sometimes when a cop does get hurt by a random bullet, it's usually that good cop. Mm-hmm. It's usually the ones that's not involved with that. But here's my thing. You know who you work with. Mm-hmm. It's just like the Catholics. You know who you work with. You know that priest wasn't doing right, and you didn't say anything. You may have not done it, but you not saying something about it, you just as bad as the one doing it.
Exactly.
You know who you work with. You know who you go to school with. Oh, that's an asshole right there. Don't talk to that one. You know. So it's time for these cops to call them out because they making you look bad. They making everybody look bad. You know, and so call them out. Get them out. Get them out of there. Because it's going to be to the point you got cops quitting because they can't do what they want to do. Well, y'all messed that up for many, hold up. Many, we got a clock. Many years, y'all have messed that up. So, therefore, y'all got to get trained to do this. Sorry. Y'all wouldn't stop killing people. Y'all wouldn't stop choking people. Y'all wouldn't stop beating up people. We told you to stop. We marched, did this, and y'all kept doing it. So now, what happened? There's certain things y'all can't do no more. Because y'all messed it up. So don't blame us. I was just listening. Some cop said something the other day saying we can't do our job anymore. Because you messed it up. If y'all had just listened and stop what you're doing, you could be doing your job right now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I got to take extra training. And that's another thing. Minneapolis being watched about that too. I heard that new chief is dope. And it's them things I'm changing. It's certain things you can't do. Certain things you can't get pulled over for no more. I don't feel sorry for you. Yeah. I'm done. Let me shut up.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was a lot. I mean, you know, it's a lot of things are happening like they did many years ago, and the history of police ties together.
It's the same crap.
So, yeah.
It's just shifted. One more thing. This is what happened to the civil rights movement. Imagine, you know, we all have been lazy, and we trying to clean up quick. What do? We put dirt under the rug.
Yep.
You put dirt under the rug.
Builds up.
What happens after a while?
It builds up.
It builds up, and then what does it do?
Spills out.
It spills out.
Yep.
That's where we at with George Floyd and everything, and
Yes,
all
sir.
and around the land, and all the murders from cop.
Yep.
Civil rights movement was never finished. It was just pushed under the rug.
Yep.
Here, black people just have to shut up. Shh. I'm sick of hearing about this. It's spilling out.
Yep.
And we're not gonna let it go back under the rug.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
we're smart
exactly.
as a people, keep the rug up.
Cool.
And finish it.
Yeah.
Well.
And do. Stop talking about it. We already know this. Let's stop talking about it. Do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do.
Absolutely.
Find what you're good at and do it. Stop going to the table. Well, no, stop it. Stop. I don't want to hear another subject matter. I don't want to hear another discussion about it. I don't want to hear another radio show about it. About what black people should do, what Mexicans should do. Just shut up and do it. Do it.
Yep.
You know, God, it's not that hard.
Well,
you know, thank you so much for coming, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching our podcast. If you like what you see, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and click that notification bell to get notified when we put out new podcast episodes.